Atochin chitab kalenjin kora eng ketesiet noton nebo Kass TV kotigeyote en nguni ketesiet noton nechome nebo Kass TV kotetutik ko noton nebo mungaret ak Pandaptai anan biashara Wednesday. Betab raini ko kamuch amwaun kemiten ak Bernard Keroi. Ine ko maton en studio.
Korir.
Bernard Korir, sorry, kagelama magainet awchenian. Kimi Bernard Korir en studio so kamuch mising kiguye ngalekab somanet ak mising ko chepkondok choton kokon kaimuch kot mising en konekit. Yakotestai komwa serikali kole taunet nebo funding model ne kotoi kobeljigei kotoret biikab emet kobate mwoe kipsomaninik kole noton komuch kongem bandaptai nebo emet mwaet kole imuch komanyor chepkondok kole komakyingei mwaet kole ngandan ko apply icheket koba noton nebo nekolenen maybe model nekomoche nebo band 1 kokinde bandit age noton neter komwoe kole noton komuch kongem somanet kobaten noton ko sukulitab barak len akine sukulit noton musoknotet tos une chepkondok chekokitobonchi icheket tos miten koimutiet noton nebo lagok che ngandan kotieme akichek kosom toretet konyorugei komiten ole ngoi ole mwoe kole eye kokinde grupit noton nemuch komakinyoru toretet. Kimi ak Bernard Korir studio, inendet ko principal nebo sukulit noton nebo Belgut TTI tagat studio en betutab raini Bwana Korir.
Thank you, Bwana Shadrack, and target College as an institution about Belgut TTI. Sinyoke ngalalen mostly ngalekab funding model. Niko kit new in the country. So tunasema asante sana for giving us this chance to ngalalen ngalejuton ba funding model, especially in sugulishek chebo TVET. So niko kit tako new in big chachang and tako tebenge big chachang about this funding model. Kokotom gebe the new funding model. Chamuan Shadrack angalalen kidogo about model nekimi en ta. Komagibwan this model nebo new funding model. Ki en ta ko kimi model nekikiboisien kora en TVET ke toreten lagok chekibendi sugulishek chebo TVET. I think kongeten kenyitab almost karibu kenyisiek from 2018 yon kotesta ko kinam serikali ko fund students chebo TVET. So kimi kit nekikuren funding model nekibo keny but ko ketau the new funding model. En old model ko kitam kikoin lagok capitation. Lakwet agetugul ko kikikoin capitation. Ako kimi kit nekikure self. The same kora komi the new funding model. Ki fees koron chekibo the old model ko ki 56,420. Lakini kingeto the new model ko sibke ak research nekikiyai kele lakwet agetugul sikotar ngalekab TVET especially en kenyit ke increase in fees ko 67,189. Lakini ki the old model ko ki 56,420 across all the TVET institution. Ako ki sigik anan ki lakwet ki nekibore self kolipanjigei chito. Konde in the old model ko kiyoche kolipanjigei mwanafunzi 26,420. Akonyor anyin capitation chekibunu serikali up to a tune of 30,000. Kikiyoku capitation nichu en quarters. Every quarter there is quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. But at the end of the year, kokanyor lakwet total fees about 30,000. That is the old model. I hope I have become clear.
Yes.
Kamwale ki fees ko ki 56,420. Ago ki cheki capitation ko ki 30,000.
Yes.
Ko ki self. Anajilipan sigindet.
Yes.
And a student through several funding like scholarships, like help loan, and a Goliban seeking the directly got Kumailo, Gimakumago loan, Koginyal Goliban 26,420.
Yes.
That is the old model. In the new model now, the fees currently go 67,189 across all the TVET institutions. In this model, Kogo get broken into bands. Or bandis karibu moved.
Yes.
When we compare the old one and the new one, when band number 1, ko chio kai funding, and Arabic kelibani sergali, ko libani sergali up to 92.5%.
Yes.
Chio kai funding ko buwa nagara through the same process, like in the B scholarship, loan. That is chio kai financing and funding. ko self en band 1 kolipani sigindet kityo 5,039.
Yes.
These are sigik chon mamuchegei kabisa anan lagok chon mamuchegei. Kolipani kityo 5,039. All the way from initially ko ki 26 across. Kimakomi bands.
Kimakelen one mi ngweny. Ki across
kityo. Yes. Lakini in the new funding model, ko finance in serikali up to 92.5%.
Yes.
Ko sigindet kityo kemaken kolipan lakwet 5,000 or around 5,039 shillings.
Yes.
And band number 1. Band number 2 ko GOK financing and ravin ke konu serikali ko up to 88%.
Yes.
And band 3 ko up to 82%. And band 4 up to 78%. And band 5 up to 73%. That means in the new model, the highest the student can pay and the parent can pay has reduced up to 18,141, all the way from 26,420. If this new model is implemented well, kotoreti sigik eleo because in the funding model all kokilipani sigindet more by around 8,000. Got the new funding model. If we can get all these funds, go make an education about TVET, go very cheap because the student nemamuchegei kabisa mzazi nemamuchegei ko the only amount they require ko 5,000. Lakini at the same time kikoin tuguk chekibare upkeep. Lakwani kamakomuchegei kabisa kikoin kora upkeep. Upkeep ko pocket money.
Yes, jeribenge.
Konyoru nebo band 1 up to 18,600. Igere ile kot konem kot 5,000 akolipan ko kakoik free ngalekab ne TVET. Ko band number 2 konyoru upkeep up to 17,600. Band number 3 konyoru upkeep and pocket money chebo 15,600. Ko nebo band 4 konyoru upkeep up to 14,600. And letinany konyoru upkeep up to 13,600. Igere lakwani kobo band 5 komuche kityo kotes rabinik kidogo from the upkeep ako kake finance almost everything.
Yes.
Kou kele iniger kouon the TVET education in the new funding model if kot ka implemented komie kotoreti sigik chechang. Ako makomie ni reason simamuch koba lagokyok TVET. Kou en Belgut currently.
Yes.
Kemoveni almost kokeib education almost to the village. Nemuche kong'et lakwet from kaa akonyo sukul by walking. Because we have also open campuses.
Yes.
Because kimae ke-richen those students wherever they are.
Chemuyo ndo kamae kobendi
akowekse. Komuche kong'et lakwet en college akwo kaa. Korue kaa akonyono sukul. Something nekimakomi en taa. Kimache kewekin kongoi His Excellency the President. Because kichop a TVET institution in every sub-county.
Yes.
And every constituency in this country. Kuko kitinye in mind kole sikomuch kuaccesen lagok chechang TVET.
Yes.
Recently kokotinye tuyet President ak the young people.
Yes.
King'ololen akine funding model. Lakini surprisingly during that time ko king'ololen mostly about students chebo universities. I checked that or I watched that debate for a long time. The entire session. Lakini most of the students chekika attend that session was mostly from universities. So I think there should also be another conversation. Even the president himself kokile nyolu keng'alalen ng'alek chebo TVET because this is where there is a big chunk. If you look at the results of last year, there were candidates karibu 1 million, 923 there, or 920,000. Chebendi university is hardly 20 to 30%. 80% could be eligible for TVET. And it is being replicated from the national to the county. When you look at our county, Maralok proceeding to university is only 20% or 30% kochanga, maybe when there is good performance. When you say from A up to C+. Yes. When you look at from C stand all the way up to D minus, that's a big percentage, over 80%. And the conversation should touch them because they are also the young people of our country and they can do a lot. There is the restructuring of the curriculum. And the president says we need to have a lot of conversation, especially with this group of people, young people. Because that is why the funding here is, there is a funding model for the universities, and there is also a funding models for the TVET institution.
En ngalalet noton nebo funding model nebo universities ko mongen ko tuguk chekomuch kotinye akwek. Kotebe amun kaimwa en aroret ngarakas kotok kele ko either way ko wineni chitugul.
Yes.
Age tugul kokochorgei either imiten noton nebo band 1 anan nebo band 5. Kobaten kotebe kole ko lazima keto this new model kalya mage modify ni kemi en tai. Kale koyan ne en kibo tai asikomuch ketone lel. Ko of course kaimwa na tai ko kimuch kebos chepkondok chekiyoche kipsomaniat. Swali nebo oeng nekoimuch komong en tuyonoton ko chito nekamuch koapply ko band 1 ko nan konyoru komi band 3 oli anan ko band 4. Ole mwoe kole ara kotikakeistonen band 1 ele kokimiten ngweny kamakindoi mshahara karondechi lebo biikab mshahara. Oret nebo kewal chito nekakochut band 5 ko karibu kipsomaninik karibu 216 chemoche kowal en nguni. Une ng'alekab technical anan TVETs en akwek nguni. Koimuch oeng ko une nekotai ko ndakimodify ni ako nebo oeng ko chi nekanyorgei komi a different band asikomuch konyor kanyomokyingei.
Kongoi Shadrack. En TVET kimache kele it is on the positive note, because when you see the funding about TVET currently, if it is implemented as it is, it's the advantage to the TVET students. Yes. Because I said it is a big improvement from the old model. Because the old model, a flat rate.
Yes,
a flat rate, whether you come from which family or which family, you are to pay 26,420.
Yes.
Irrespective of the family. Like it is families.
Yes, true.
When you come now to the real this model, the current model, it is an improvement first of all, because there is a reduction of almost around 8,000, all the way from 26,420 to 18,000. Koron 8,000. So the conversation now on the bands, in the wrong band. That one is encouraged. In the data because there is what we call means testing instrument. There is a tool contain automatically to your correct parent. Mostly the problem there is the data from the student, and because it's a computer system, favorism. Like in the data feeding into the system will place you in a certain band automatically. These are software. Give out the data, the death certificate for the parents.
Yes.
A single parent, keep out that information. I think they were to do through a lawyer or advocate. If you keep that information, if you also keep out the income of your parents, at the end of the day, the software and anything to do with software, go fair as much as possible. So and so, moving in from pan. Kinde band 1,
Ogatemi band 4,
and Agatemi band 5,
band
1, because this is a system fed. I have never had a team go analysis these students apply this band. It is a system. This is a system base, and everything they get currently go through the system. Even the students go apply system wise. Release and the results about KCSE go through the system. And you know the system doesn't lie. And the system doesn't favor. And I'm a favor in Ingereza missing. Yani, kama cha mwaga lekiba ishi ni kibure ne
technology ne musawanatet na torgene
ke categorize students.
Yes.
Like in TVET, I have never had any TVET institution complaining, but I think mostly the complaints are coming from the universities in terms of placement of the bands.
Okay.
Yes, but when we look at it,
yes,
let's look at the bigger picture.
Yes.
This is only a small portion of the young people group, because when you look at the number of students joining university, it's around 20%. Where is the 80%? We have not hear a lot of complaints from the students joining TVET because the system seems to be favoring them in a way, in so many ways. Because I have said the old model itself was around 26. When we come now, it is maximum. Siginda na antinga rabinik kabisa. Change mujo kolipan in the new model is 18,000. Ako magilelen all those applicants chebo TVET komi 18. Some, quite a number, might be in band 2, 3, 1 to 3. Or the maximum up to band 3 is 12,000. Or we say there's a number up to even band 4 is 14,000. So a reduction of from 26 to 14,000 is a big margin. Yes.
Ko ya so mi angunya tos mo kuyango mo web so manene anan mo kuyo sigi anan maro mi serikali amun ko bottom line go everyone ko win je to ko ngeten either way na me mshara no mi na me ko ka boss kwa mune so mi angunya tnege mo gele new funding model ko ere bi kala ko wanga me ko wit.
I think the communication. Communication is what is lacking. We in Belgut, we try as much as possible to have forums, to have sessions with these young people. Like during the holidays, we were having a short holiday because Margaret in the holidays good in Tibet, but we have a short window of holiday. But every day, we are trying as much as possible to organize forums with the young people. We are doing it from ward level, every ward. We have rearranged ourselves that we work with the local leadership, that they mobilize the young students and lot to go to reform for. 2 years in a certain place, so that we have a conversation with them. Like we have almost cleared Belgut sub-county. And then we also stretch kidogo to Bureti sub-county. Kigi na men Kabianga. We have a session with students Chibunuga Bianga. Check it out form for. We mobilize them. Ki ba isen publicity vehicle. Negi senator. Ki lenje nange ba isen because mami campaign sai ko this vehicle. Ki mobilize and the young people. Ko buasugu. Anago join them TVET. So we have a team which normally move around for 2-3 days. Again, encouraging ke 2 years in a certain point after 2 days. When we get there, we have a serious conversation with them. Came watching about this funding model in our institution. If you come to Belgut, this is the funding model which is supported by the government. Yes. And when you go there, we go with the entire team. We have the people from the registry, which they will do admission during that day. We also call a team from HELP. Yes. We are working closely with the HELP office of Kericho. So we move your background and we clear everything. The same day, satisfied, the parent and the student. Once we have given that information, they need the next step.
Yes.
Magi the student because here what we call targeted marketing. Magi much again current and expenditure again, but what it fulani, paging a lot of students and we leave them there. Yes. We will go back the following day. Again, lend the large out and then on the bank to Belgut TTI. Go because the government through the help of our area MP. Go get up with the biggest digital hub. Kevere ni loja kama ni 200 ki muti gitinya baset negi tarete gora through the support of the area MP.
Who is area MP?
Honorable Korir Nelson. Because he sponsored some students, Kenya some funding Kenya baset. So akal gora gas baring the driving school. Kevere ni those students from the village to the college during the holiday. Ake process and so that in Gomura certain point access and log the funding. This small percentage, the government, we have also introduced a component about sponsorship. We also talk to the leadership. It's a good direction sponsor. So that this household, like 5,039, we sorted through CDF bursaries.
Chenganda mingu ngo mara mondo gara mugetigi.
Cooking neganget kito sigi ko chenki chebo lunch. Anagot ko lo kidogo esugul because they are within the constituency. Ko moja ko chengot within the institution. Lakini over the weekend ko because maloga ko moja ko labata bogo chakula about the week. So with that kokokemuch kimutu lagok chechang kobwa Belgut TTI within a short time. Belgut TTI moved from less than 1,000 students last year, almost. Days ago, kitinye less than 1,000. But right now, we have around 4,000 students. So we leapfrog from less than 1,000 to 4,000. And this is because of these marketing strategies. We are going to explain about this funding model to the parents, to the students. TVET is almost like free. Mami any reason to go manyo lakwet. Amasimo lakwet. Any TVET, nenegit their home. Whether in every constituency there is a TVET institution. Whether it's Kericho National Polytechnic, whether it's Kericho Township, whether it's Belgut, whether it's Kimashan, whether it's Kipsinen, in Kericho County, the same applies to other counties. Any reason. It's only the leadership to come out and the institution to come out. I will explain this funding model. By doing so, we are supporting the government because the government has done a lot. But there is breakdown in communication at some point. That is why even lot of universities, agitation from TVET students, but you can say a lot of agitation from university students. Agoni is true and true. When you listen to them, they are talking mostly from point of no information. Because why they are, why did they are?
Those starting a leg up the new, almost staying a new model. Those started Kora institutions, among other university, I was Sullivan and Kiago Magon Dutch, Konokotonjige, Nango, just regally. Those the new model move with Kora institutions to TVET, to Mariaga, my Kwang and Lab Kondo.
Yes. Kina Tomgona institution, Jeta. That's why there is a lot of struggle. You can enjoy what we call economies of scale. Economies of what? Scale. The more you have the students, the easier to run the institution. The less the number of students, the most difficult. Because if you are going to do a practical, I want to give you, because Belgut TTI is the institution, the institution who presented the largest number of students cover the new curriculum. CPET. We mounted our CDAC exam. In July, August series, we presented the largest number of candidates. In fact, we were the largest in South Rift in terms of presenting the new curriculum, which we'll talk about it. And it is capital intensive, this curriculum. So we have come out of that whatever, and we have learned a lot as an institution. Because it is, most of the institutions they fear this new curriculum because they look at it as very expensive. Because it is 80% practical and 20% theory. If you have very few students, if you don't market your institution so that you have the numbers, it will also be a tall order executing this curriculum. Because there is what we call the threshold, the break-even point. Break-even point. Let's take, for example, you have a CBET class of less than 10. In fact, the institution will meet a difference. Because teaching 2 students, 8 students, allowed in exam.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Because last may meet in the minimum. If you have a class of 30, you will enjoy what we call economies of scales. Take for example in high school, I can use a very simple analogy. Let's say you want to cook food for 100 students, and you want to cook food for 10 students. Very expensive to do food for 10 students, but very cheap.
Each of the 100 students.
Because there is what we call economies of scale. In the end of the day, they look very many, like any reducing the cost. per meal.
Koten niger nito nemoche o marketen sukulit nebo Belgut ak mising kora nekemwa ile ngochanga onyorunen keljin. Une infrastructure chutindoi amun kora ko kachanga lagok ara kotiondoi lagok 1,000 nguno mwa lagok 4,000 ko which means ko lazima expand ngalekab classrooms ngalekab human resource ak kila kitu. Une infrastructure a capacity notindoi ko Belgut kara koite mucho sombikab emet komut lagok kwa akomut en jongindo koite 4,000.
Yeah, those things go work hand in hand. We are also continuously improving our infrastructure. We are constructing a 16 workshop facility. There is a 3-floor facility, and we have cleared the ground floor. We have done the substructure for the ground floor. We are now to go to the 2nd floor and 3rd floor. We had made a request to His Excellency the President, and we are waiting to be given around 20 million to clear that infrastructure. But in the meantime, we also, through internal savings, we constructed a wing which can accommodate over 800 students. And you know, in college, in TVET, the mode of learning is not like in high school.
Yes.
You go to college when you have a session. And a session maximum is 4 hours. That means if you have your infrastructure, if the infrastructure can all at a core 2,000, and we have our program has been run across the day from 7:30 all the way to 6:30. That means in a day you have 10 hours.
Yes.
So in 10 hours, and a student goes there for 4 hours. So 4 hours, that means you have a circuit of 2,000 after 4 hours,
yes,
and then another circuit of 4 hours, yes, for another 2,000, which will take you to 4,000 with a lot of ease. That is one. When you look at CBET, I say this is practical oriented, like agriculture, for example. With students for agriculture, if we say it's 80% practical, that means those students don't go to class to do theories.
Yes.
They go to the farm.
Yes.
Because it is 80% what? Practical. If you look at the Department of Building and Civil Engineering, you cannot do it inside a class. You go to the field because we use those students to also improve the infrastructure of the institution. When you look at which other program, that means the program, the entire building and civil, whereby we have plumbing, we have building. When you look at information communication technology, which now houses all the information communication technology program, because those are the tools of trade. Office administration, those are the tools of trade. The tools of trade is information communication technology. We were given the best hub in the region, whereby we have around 150 workstations. That means we can sort 2 departments there. Because already the infrastructure is there, which was supported by the government fully. If you look at that department alone, those 2, that is around 3 departments, that is business and information communication technology. We are set. We can even do up to 1,000 students comfortably with those number of infrastructure. Yes. Even when you go to universities like Kabianga, for example, or nearby universities, you will not get the kind of facilities in terms of information communication technology in Belgut, because it's the best. In fashion and design, because we purpose, we have the best infrastructure in the region. We have the modern machinery, which can even take up to around almost 1,000 students still, comfortably, because it's like a factory. You even check, the head of state was looking at our infrastructure for fashion and design. The food and beverage, we have the best. We have a restaurant, we have a kitchen, which can accommodate up to around 700, 800 students. You can see the restaurant can hold up to 200 guests. We have also the kitchens. We break into 2. There is the kitchen for level 5, and there is the kitchen for the diplomas, and the kitchen for the certificate. Yes. So comfortably, we have the best restaurant, and we have the best facilities for food and beverage. In addition to that, which department? Electrical. Electrical. Yes, electrical. Electrical, we constructed workshops And we have also equipped them. Through internal savings, we contracted we are around 3 workshops. We have also set there. In addition, we have also acquired campuses. We have the Litain campus, we have the main campus, and then we have the Sociot campus. Those campuses, like Litain, we have a lease agreement. It was a college setup, which we are utilizing for the next 15 years. And the only thing that we do is we do now the infrastructure, which whenever we get resources, we have started now working on the workshops. Like Litain, we have a complete food and beverage facility. And we have purpose. We have also done electrical. Building, as I said, is in the building is in the field.
Yes.
You don't go to. Yes, and the kind of curriculum that we are implementing is practical oriented, skill based. Because if it is doing tiles, you do it in the field.
Yeah, exactly.
If it is laying bricks, you do it outside. The one now we are working on the final stages now to get land for agriculture, for Litain, and also increasing, because what we have in Belgut, we have utilized almost everything in the land. But we are also getting another land in Kabiang, which was a community land. We are almost at the final stages, 6 acres. That is where we will pull our agricultural courses. And in the new curriculum, because you have gone into that.
Yes, I'm going to tell you, mi ay nguye ngalap somanet nangele chebo CBC chokitaune en somanet noton nebo lagok chemengech ngemwa kele iye mi koimutiet noton not kongobit ngalekab new model kele nemakitar ngalekab CBC. Lakini bari iker akine noton nebo competence based education and training noton nebo TVET kotebi kole why this new way of doing things noton nebo TVET.
Yes. Yes, so in TVET, we move into the new curriculum. In fact, we move in directly from September. We implemented the whole curriculum, which was NEC-based. Before we move to the new curriculum, we have a big TVET. TVET is a regulator. They check on quality. I go check infrastructure. I go koyanua courses fulani. Kibwa nyoka check facilities chemi Belgut. Kingo bwa nyoka check facilities chemi Belgut. Kwa proven way karibu 70 courses.
Yes.
In these 70 courses, and CPET, that is competency based education and training.
Yes.
Koni mi primary gure
CBC competency based curriculum.
Yeah, competency. There are only 2 outcomes in the new curriculum. When you come to TVET, the outcomes go only 2, and I go on 2 results. You can be competent, or you are not yet competent. So in this curriculum, either ingen ana ko to mainai magilele mengen
to mainai en mi kamuget inai
igikon time itainai. I can give you a simple example. Like the curriculum the exam I think, as I said, Belgut became we presented the largest number of students, I think, in the entire South Rift for this new curriculum. We started in September. So go that first year in July. You look at almost 1 year. Go the exam go give we go like with 8 units in first year. And then get in that. And these 8 units go 5 go practical based. I go make in common units. Common are core units.
Yes.
The core units go electrical engineering, for example. Core units smooth. Support. And university support. Support units and common units.
Yes.
To communication skills. To digital literacy, which is cutting across for everyone. To occupational health and safety.
Yes.
Common units. Like when you come now to electrical, levels, level 6 diploma. Level 5 ko certificate. Level 4 ko artisan. We have 3 levels as TVET. But we have also another level like level 3. Ko level 3 ngunon ndinje yone shadraka gilang nai ke ko gi nagya gitu ko den exam ke confirm ngot ko ingen iyai. Ake ko certification. Mi biik chamba chua kali chan ngen kwai tu lakini matinye certificates.
Lakini ingen ngochapun kit kotor koma.
Kiep ko nyukona nyokochap kiat ak keker kele muche akikoi ne. Akikoi certificate. Ko level 3. Tiengei anji grades chekikasich lakwet en high school. Kotko kikasich lakwet C- and above komuche koyai level 6. Level 6 ngunon ko diploma. Makekuren diploma, kikuren level 6. Ko level 5 ko certificate. And the level 4 ko artisan. Level 6 ko yoe lakwet for 3 years. Level 5 ko yoe lakwet for 2 years. Ako level 4 ko yoe kityo for 1 year. Ko tiengei grade nekikesichen ano en form 4. Kokiwelel the same en primary. Ngunon en primary kiengen ko kikilele standard 1. Akele ko move lakwet kwa standard 2. Ko makemwoe kounon kilelen
nasari na watae.
Yes, kebare primary. Ko standard 1 kekuren grade 1. Inyon ngunon standards 2 ko grade 2 like that. That is why there is also a variation in TVET. It is the same curriculum in the US onde kukuleni. The only difference in US only na eche kelelen grade 1. Lakini en US kelele first grade. Akebwa second grade. Ko the same.
Kongoi. Amache kakelion kebe komung'enen wach mungakoit sait aeng ak kebeberyat asikeweken ketestai ak ng'alalet noton nebo ng'alekab somanet mising ko noton nebo CBET en sukul choton chebo musoknotet. Chitab kolenjin emetab raini ko mamaito ak amun amache kekuye mising somanet noton nebo musoknotet. Kimiten ak Korir, ine ko principal nebo sukulit noton nebo Belgut TTI.